I think this is important for people to hear, especially considering how the type of discourse that we're having in the country right now. And he supposedly says this is a public square for all. Maybe we're learning that a public square should not be privately owned by someone who doesn't think that there should be any moderation on that platform.
The part that I find insulting is when you say today black Americans don't have those rights after we have gone through civil rights revolution in this country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have a different point of view.
Black and white that black people don't have in this country, and that black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate.
I'm not saying you
without me regarding you as a black man,
but
me regarding you as a fellow citizen.
That's what I think we should see. Whatever ethnicity you are, explaining to me
whatever ethnicity
about what it's like to be black.
Whatever ethnicity I am, I'll tell you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have this debate. Black, white doesn't matter.
I think we should have this
on
debate.
The content of the ideas.
If you're going to do it, you should do it in an honest way and in a fair way. And what you're doing is not an honest and fair way. Okay? But we appreciate you coming on.
With due respect, Don, I look forward to continuing that conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What's going on, everyone? Sauce Kenny here today, and we're going to be reacting to Don Lemon getting his butt fired again by Elon Musk. As you saw from the intro, the first clip was his more recent interview with CNN. Seems like he wants to come back to CNN, and he's trying to say, look, guys, I'm still part of your clan. I'm still part of the group, guys, right? And he decided to interview Elon Musk for his breaking video, his first video that he wanted to do on X. And apparently, I think the contract with Elon Musk and Don Lemon was for him to exclusively post on X, but it seemed to have fallen through after the first interview. And many reasons, you know, CNN pundits are jumping on this chance to smear Elon Musk once again. Maybe we shouldn't have a billionaire owning like the public square. And this has been an argument that conservatives have been explaining to liberals for a long time, but liberals saw no problem with private individuals owning the public square when it was when the private individual or the private citizen was a liberal, Democrat, progressive. Now that it's a centrist, right-leaning liberal, oh no, it's dangerous, it's dangerous. It's always dangerous when someone has the gun, right? When the liberals have the gun, oh no, you can trust authority. When the authorities, on the other hand, oh no, you can never trust authority. These are these guys have such conflicting ideas and principles that it's baffling to me that the only thing these people really care about is power and who has it. So I want to react to a comment I seen from Greg Foreman, and then we're gonna dive into his further into the interview with CNN. This guy got fired from CNN and then gets a multi-million-dollar deal to do a show for Elon Musk. Instead of being thankful, he stabs Elon in the back with a sham hit job interview, then runs back to the network that fired him to take a dump on Elon. Don Lemon is a snake. And I agree, he is. Because this is how you treat someone who gave you essentially a second chance. So we're going to go more into the interview, and then as usual, I'll give my thoughts throughout. Let's take a look.
Do you believe that X and you have some responsibility to moderate hate speech on the platform? That you wouldn't have to answer these questions from reporters about the Great Replacement Theory as it relates to Democrats?
I don't have to answer these questions.
The Great Replacement Theory as it relates to Jewish people. Do you think that?
I don't have to answer questions from reporters. Don, the only reason I'm doing this interview is because you're on the X platform and you asked for it. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I would not do this interview.
So you don't think? Do you think that you wouldn't get in trouble or you wouldn't be criticized for these things?
I'm criticized constantly. I could care less.
Illuminating in so many ways. All right, I have two things I want to ask you about that, Don. First, the Great Replacement Theory. Right. As you bring it up, he has tweeted a tweet he shared. Increasing illegals boost Dem voting power, causing them to recruit more. Mm-hmm. If Dems win President, House, and Senate, they'll grant citizenship to all illegals, and America will become a permanent one-party deep socialist state. Right? He has gone there directly. How much does he stand by these ideas?
Well, he didn't quite seem to understand that he did, originally he did that with Jewish people, sort of a Great Replacement Theory thing that he did with Jewish people, and he got in trouble and he had to go to Auschwitz and answer questions and apologize and go with Ben Shapiro. But he doesn't...
I don't understand too much about that controversy. Maybe someone can inform me in the comment section, but from what I took as the idea is, hey, we shouldn't be so involved and so ingratiated in foreign affairs, and we're letting people who have foreign interests, foreign affairs, come here in America and dictate our policy positions and what we should do for their own benefit. And then I think he's trying to equate that with illegal immigration is the same way. It's dual allegiance. Like, This is something about a country. Like at the end of the day, a house divided cannot stand. So if you have a country of people, of individuals who can vote, but their loyalties, their love, their commitments is to people outside of the nation, should we let them have voting rights? Should we let them come over here, be naturalized citizens, and then have a say in how we dictate what we should do as a country? I think that's what's speaking to the ideas. So I don't know the specifics of the situation. I admit it to you right now on camera. But what I would say is maybe the idea, because based on what Elon said in his tweet about the Great Replacement Theory, is essentially you're trying to replace people who are native here, right? For example, I live in Florida. I was born and raised in Miami. As a young man, as a young family with my wife and my 2 sons, I cannot have the same lifestyle that I have here in Central Florida compared to South Florida. Because of what? People from New York are coming in. People from California are coming in. People from all around the world coming in because they see that Miami and South Florida is like an upcoming, not upcoming, but it's attracting more people in that area. Therefore, housing prices are going to go up. And I'm being shuffled off upstate. I'm noticing here in Central Florida, a lot of natives from Miami are here. I'm like, yo, what's going on? I'm part of one of the trending cities, the trending towns in Central Florida. Growing populations in Central Florida is causing people to migrate. So I think the point that Elon is trying to make is a very, not ethnic one, but a national one. Hey, we're bringing a lot of people, Democrats, and notice how they don't point out the conflict of interest with the Democratic Party, that they benefit from illegals coming over the border. Instead of attacking the substance of Elon Musk's concern, they'll strawman him into making it some type of racial thing, which is baffling to me. And I believe Elon went to Israel with Ben Shapiro to learn more about Jewish culture because he was ignorant about it. I think that was about it. I don't think he was malicious with his intent with the commentary. It was mainly a misunderstanding, and I think that was about it. But you know me, I'm just reading too much into it. Let's continue with the video.
Understand that sort of rhetoric that he talks about, the Great Replacement Theory and migrant invasion, that's what radicalized shooters use in their manifestos, those exact words. The people who go and shoot up people, whether they be Latino people who live in Texas or black people who are in a supermarket in Buffalo or Jewish people who are worshiping, those people use the same rhetoric, that they are tropes, that they're either racist for Latinos or black people or for Jewish people.
Or for white people. I'm gonna point that in there too, because end of the day, if you look, if hate crime, let's look at hate crime, because I'm tired of this narrative here, right? Because these people are not logically consistent, right? Racism against another person merely because of the color of their skin, stereotyping them, creating a caricature of them, is racist. Okay, oh, white people are this, oh, that's racist. White people are devils, oh, that's racist. Because if I said it the other way, people will say, oh my God, Kenny, you're so racist. But now everyone wants to be the victim Olympics. But then the same victims, the people who don't want to be victimized because of their race, are victimizing others because of their race. If we look at hate crimes, we look at interracial crimes. Who commit more interracial crimes in America? It's not white. Black people. Black people. If outside of your race, who's more likely to commit a crime against you is a black person. That goes for Asians, that goes for Hispanics, and that goes for white people. The biggest victims of it are white people. Disproportionately, too. 85% of interracial crimes between black and white is black on white crime. But you see, do people like Don Lemon said that's a hate crime? Oh my God, we have a hate epidemic against white. We have anti-white crime through the roof. No. Because they want the majority, they want the minorities. They want to exclude white people, which is in of itself racist. You don't think white people face discrimination? Oh, black people are not in positions of power. Look at DEI. Look at the special treatment that black people are getting at the expense of white people. And I'm just using that as an example, because if I flip it, everyone would agree with me that's wrong. But then when I inverse it, when I make it about the major group, all of a sudden it's not, oh no, nothing's wrong with that. And this is what Elon Musk, and the funny part is this is what Elon Musk talked about when he went to Israel. That there's this inherent idea in leftism that just because you're weak makes you inherently good, when that's a false statement. That's a false narrative. Just because you don't have the capacity to be evil does not make you a good person by default. It just means you don't have power. And once you have power, you can do those things. But you don't need to have power to be racist. Because the people with the least amount of power in this country right now is white people. Who makes up the majority of poor people in this country? I'm waiting. White people. But just because they're also at the top of society in large numbers, or they're just more of them, all of a sudden you want to cry foul. You want to say America's a racist country, but the richest ethnic groups here are Indians, are Asian Americans. But here you are complaining about this narrative, but you exclude white people. When white people can claim they're just as much as a victim of the system as anyone else, because they make up the majority of poor people. But but when you think about poor people, who y'all focus on? Hispanics, black. Asians make up the thinnest percentage of poor people, and they make up a large percentage of the rich people in our country. But you don't hear Don Milan crying about that now, is it? It seems like anti-racism, DEI is all concepts that's just against white people, and that in and of itself is racist. I thought excluding people by the color of their skin was racism, but all of a sudden, if it's the right kind of race, you're allowed to do that, which in of itself is racist. But this is the ideas we're supposed to abide by. Him allowing unregulated free speech calls into question whether we should let private individuals own public spaces. So if Elon Musk was censoring people, regulating people's speech, it would have been fine with you, Don Lemon. That's what it sounds like to me. But I digress. I'm supposed to let this go. It's a 2-minute video.
And I wanted to know if he felt any responsibility as someone who has one of the largest social media and information platforms in the world.
250 million people.
250 million people. I think it's 455 or 500 million users a week. And it doesn't seem that he feels that he has any responsibility with that, because he seemed really averse to facts. That facts did not matter to him. It didn't matter that he retweeted things that were offensive to people. And this the whole idea of what I was asking him about, was it offensive, and did he feel that his platform should have better moderation?
So you've seen that, you heard that. And better moderation according to who? On what standard? What criteria are you judging that better standard by? See, this is a problem with liberals a lot. Like a lot of Democratic liberals, they think oh, obviously everyone thinks like me. And that's just a very self-centered way, a very narrow-minded way of thinking about things. He wants to talk about, oh, you need more regulation. Oh, do you feel like your tweet offended people? I don't care about people's feelings. I care about, hey, is this right or is it wrong? Is it practical or is it impractical? Is it smart to bring in large groups of people to our country who has more allegiance to the country they're escaping from, who have no respect for our cultures, traditions, and processes, that the fact that they broke the law to get into the country in the first place, and they expect us to reward that behavior? Is that a logical thing to do as a country? I don't care if it hurts your feelings. Is that a logical thing to do in this country? Making it about feelings, making it about facts. Oh, he offended people. This is how they make hate speech laws. Oh, you hurt somebody's feelings? You did a hate speech. You hurt my feelings because you said men can be women. Oh, you don't want to regulate that? Oh, you don't want to cancel that guy? The guy just misgendered himself. This guy just misgendered me. It's crazy. Like, all this is a battle for power. All this is an optics game. Right? And they want to give Elon Musk a hard time for essentially canceling his butt. Elon Musk's Tesla stock lost billions of dollars in market cap after he smoked weed on Joe Rogan's podcast and caused him all kinds of headaches. Don Lemon is a complete idiot for thinking he can ask Elon about his drug use, but still gets a multi-million-dollar contract. Dumb. Exactly. Personal responsibility. As I told him it would happen, Don Lemon, the owner of this platform, Elon Musk, sent a tissy text to his reps. Contract terminated after an interview Lemon did with Musk last Friday that was not to the adult toddler's liking, including questions about his ketamine use. And these people, I don't know what kind of ideological world they live in, but every time I talk to a liberal or I see any instances from liberals, I see so many fallacies in their thinking, and it's a very subjective way of looking at the world. And you can say the same about me, but at least I point to some evidence that is observable and demonstrable by everyone in the video. And the only way you're going to counter my framing of it is you got to give something of that's observable and demonstrable as a opposition to what I bring up. You can't just tell me, Kenny, your framing of events is not to my liking. Essentially, is what this Kara lady is saying. Yeah. So, in that day, you know, Elon Musk canceled his contract, and I agree. He should have canceled his contract. Like, you don't go to your boss and tell him, ask him about something that can detrimentally hurt the company that's giving you $1 million. Like, you cutting your nose to spite your face. But that's how much of the mainstream media that Don Lemon wants. He wants to get back in that. He felt like this was beneath him, and he wanted to get back to high production studio, makeup people on his. He wanted to get back to that life, and he probably thought he could use this interview as a way of getting back into mainstream media's good graces. But honestly, at this point, hey. We'll see where he has to go to. He has where he has to go from here on out, because it seems like he's trying to do the same old thing and expect a different result. That's insanity, Don Lemon. But hey, you know, if you don't want to get with the times, if you don't want to adapt, then you fail, then you die. But you know, I digress. This is enough about me. Let me know your thoughts about Don Lemon and his future in media. Do you think he'll still be relevant after this interview cycle has gone, or you think that Don Lemon will be able to make a pivot and get back to relevancy again? I would like to hear your thoughts about this in the comment section below. I would really be interested to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate you guys watching to the end of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.